You are Locked On Rays, your daily Tampa Bay Rays podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, my name is Kevin Weiss.
I'm Ulises Sambrano.
I'm Evan Closky.
And we're the host of the Locked On Rays podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Thank you for making Locked On Rays your very first listen every day. And remember, Locked On Rays is free and available on all platforms, including YouTube at Locked On Rays. It is a Friday, and we are again joined by WTSP Channel 10 Sports Director Evan Closky, back for more. Did an episode on Thursday, now doing an episode on Friday. We appreciate it very much.
Can't leave. Can't leave. You got me.
Hey, during the Lightning playoff run, the fact that we get Evan Closky for 2 episodes.
You know what this means? This means he likes us. He likes talking ball with us. He likes a little bit of race baseball talk. So thank you, Evan.
Yeah.
Yes. And of course, a pivotal Game 6, by the way, with the Lightning coming up tomorrow inside Amalie Arena. So,
do the Lightning win this series?
It's so funny. This series has been crazy. At the beginning, I was like, hell no. And now I'm like, hell yeah.
Wait, I thought it was – aren't they 2-2 right now?
Yeah, 2-2. Entering Thursday's game. At this point, it's Friday. So someone got the win in New York.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Fair
We
enough.
revealed the fourth wall. So, yeah, I mean, I felt like this was going to be a 7-gamer. I still would feel that way. I'm just going to go with the Bolts because I trust John Cooper, the experience. They've done it before. Rangers are kind of new, and they literally have gone from a Game 7 to a Game 7 series, and they might be pooping out a little bit while the Bolts are kind of surging again. So I'll go with the local team.
All right. Well, speaking of local teams, the Tampa Bay Rays, who – as of this recording, are 32-23. First 2 months of the season have gone by. So by my math, that's about a third of the way through the season. Evan, is this where you about expected this team record-wise, all things considered, entering the season? Like, where do you stand with this team? Because I don't know how they're 9 games, 10 games above 500 with some of the really bad things that have happened to this team.
Yeah.
It's kind of amazing.
What's funny is I really do think this is where I had the team at the, entering. Ooh, Randy, almost a tater. This is pretty much where I had the team. If you would have asked me, in March, have a record around this spot, I probably would have said like 10 games over 500 is probably the goal. And I think now that we're in this spot, I am just blown away that they are here. And it leads some optimism to what could be. I mentioned a little bit about this in the last episode, but the pitching has been so dang good. The starting pitching, that is. At some point, I'm waiting for the bubble to burst, but imagine where this team would be without that. And then on the flip side, imagine what the record would be. It would be Yankees-type level.
Yes.
If they had any semblance of a bat, if they had anyone who can hit the dang ball consistently, they would be the best team, if not right next to the Yankees or below the Yankees for record. They would be. If they could just consistently get 4 runs. All we're asking for is 4 dang runs. You can get 4 runs. They would be a force. So that just shows you just what potential they have.
Right.
I don't know what they're going to do come deadline, but it is so dang obvious they need bats. I mean, we understand that Brandon Lau is going to come back at some point. Wander Franco, a healthy one, would make a world of difference. But even Wander is still not like a power threat. He's more of a put the ball in play, and there might be an argument to make him a little bit lower in the order when more people are kind of on around him. I don't know.
Can you rank these 3 of what has been the most irksome to you to watch from Rays baseball? defensive miscues, base running errors, or the lack of hitting? How can you rank those three in what has been the most just I'm going to tear my hair out right now watching this game?
Defensive miscues is one, because there's one thing I do expect from this team. It's defensive stability. And I can probably count 5 games that they've blown because of just stupid defensive plays, which are so uncharacteristic of this team. I expect them to be better than that. Like, I expect them to be elite. I expect them to be elite defensively. That is a calling card. This team does not have the ability to outmuscle you. They need to grit and grind their way to victories, and defense is of the utmost importance. So number one is clearly defense, which I think has been overall better. I think they have improved, but they have gotten into ruts and these little pop-up games where it emerges and it completely puts them out of a contest, and they have a blow-up inning. So I think it's been exacerbated because errors have led to blow-up innings versus errors just kind of happening and going away without any pain. So I'll add that to it as well. 2 is the hitting, and I'm kind of like back and forth on the, putting the hitting or the base running 2 or 3. Ultimately, I'm leaving base running 3 because I expect this team to also be very aggressive on the paths. I think that like Randy and Brujan, like even though Brujan hasn't really stolen that many recently, but I think they've had a little bit more caught stealings than anticipated, which I have nothing against because I think that's just abnormal. I think they're just being caught in some bad luck. There are some other things where, players have been uber aggressive trying to, Choi trying to run the second in Texas. Randy, I don't know. We can talk about like 8 different times he tries to steal a bat, get the extra base. That's just part of who he is, though. Right. So I kind of, sometimes it can tick you off.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit okay. I'm okay with that because I'd rather them be aggressive than passive. So I don't want them to overcorrect and then tick me off in a different way, which actually would exacerbate an issue in my books.
Yeah. I agree 100% with that ranking.
Yeah.
100% with that ranking. I'd rather be aggressive than not. It is frustrating, but all the 1, 2, 3. Kevin,
and I think as a byproduct, they have to be aggressive on the base pass because they don't have a ton of boppers right now. Like, you got to find a way to manufacture runs in some shape or form. So even though they've run into the most outs in baseball and they've been caught stealing the most in baseball, who do you have hitting taters for you? Kevin Kiermaier. You legitimately might not have a guy on this team that hits 20 home runs.
Oh, really?
With Lau hurt. I mean, with Lau hurt, it's looking more and more of a possibility. Randy could get, but Randy started off so slow. I don't know if he's going to be able to get there unless he has a Senor October moment.
Nobody's on pace for 20 home runs right now.
No.
That's rough, man. We're gonna look like Nostradamus because we said nobody's gonna hit 30, man, and everybody's like, no way.
Yeah,
they're not even gonna hit 20.
Right. Well, when you trade Austin Meadows, get rid of Nelson Cruz, that Mike Zunino's not going to repeat that.
And that's why I had the hitting 2, and that's why I even debated putting it 3 because I think we all talked about this before the season. What did they add with the bat? We were all just very excited to see Wander for a full season, but they traded away Wendell. They traded away Austin Meadows. They also didn't re-sign Nelson Cruz, who, Cruz is, by the way, somebody I might want to tap back into with the Nationals. He is not doing well this year, so you might not really need to give up anything near what you had to give up last year. And I'm talking really like pennies on the dollar. I think you could probably bring back Nelly for cheap. Now, I don't know if he's a thing or not. This could be it for him. This could be his last. This could finally be the time where Nelson Cruz fell off. But the fact of the matter is that the Rays made no effort to improve their hitting. They just decided to roll with what they had and even subtract with some of the things they had on that 100-win team from last year. So am I surprised at the hitting struggling? No, because, and not to mention Wander's hurt and Lau's hurt. I mean, those are like, so you have
your 2 best hitters. You already
are entering the season with a decrepit lineup, and then you take out your two most significant hitters entering the season, of course they look like crap. And it's just like, you can't turn Taylor Walls into a 250 hitter. You can't turn Kiermaier into a 300 hitter. You can't turn these people into,
Harold Ramirez. You can't turn him into Harold Ramirez, Evan.
Harold Ramirez is gonna hit 300. That's what he does.
Yes,
he's hitting like 285.
You just know it.
Right?
We knew it. Of course, that was going to happen. I want to go back to something you said on yesterday's episode, that Yarbrough could be packaged in with a little prospect. You give that away, and now you mentioned maybe Nelson Cruz won't be that expensive. Do we call Washington and say, hey, how about a prospect in Yarbrough for Nelly? Would that be enough if Nelly hasn't really done what we wanted him to do in 2021?
Yeah, I mean, it depends what the prospect is. For Nelson Cruz, I don't know what they're looking for. I personally wouldn't be, last year it made a lot of sense with what they gave up. And it was still a little bit of an overpay, which I don't hate, because for once this organization went for it. And I'm all for that. They needed to, especially with a 100-win team. This time around, with how Cruz is performing, his age, we've all been waiting for that retirement door to fully kick in. Like, we'll give you a decent prospect. It's not going to be anywhere close. I wouldn't even give up top 15 guy. I'm just trying to. I would have to look at someone who's probably outperformed their ranking over this year and let them take them. But I think that's, again, working with what the Rays need and what's realistic for them. I don't know what kind of big boppers are on the market. I would argue that maybe talking with the Phillies to try to say, hey, like, you need to get whatever you got going here with all these hitters and no defense. Maybe we can work out an exchange and somebody can become available. That I don't know. I don't know who that would be. But
Taylor Walls.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I don't know if he's going to be the big calling card for teams as well. But
I'm starting a campaign.
They need
bring back CJ Cron.
Last year, they need a righty slugger in the middle of their lineup. It's the same discussion.
That's my campaign. Bring back CJ Cron, and you can see his resume, Kevin. Right? I mean, he's done pretty well for himself.
Although, I mean, you're really, really buying high with that, because is he going to
have to pay up?
He did in Colorado with the Rays second half? I could see not.
He slugged 30 with the Rays. He slugged 30.
No, I just think the asking price, like, the Rockies want to ask the world for the type of production he's put up. They want something for CJ.
Nelson Cruz, maybe even a little bit more like that.
You're gonna have to give up what basically you gave up last year to get Nelson Cruz, and I don't think it's worth it necessarily for CJ Cron, especially this team is CJ Cron gonna put you over the hump.
You need something, man. There's nobody who's gonna hit 20 bombs. You need something.
That's and this Rays organization has tremendous players throughout, but who in this organization is built for power? That's like highly touted for them. Like right now, they got Gray in Durham, and that guy is like literally he seems like a poor man's Lau. I mean, if he came up, that guy's hitting 200 in Durham, but with 13 bombs or whatever it is. Like,
I got a guy. We had him on the show from Australia.
Curtis Mead.
Curtis Mead.
Does he have the power though?
He's got pop.
I love Curtis Mead, by the way.
Yeah.
But I just don't know about his pop.
I think he needs a little bit more seasoning, but I think it'll be there.
Yeah. We've got much more to talk about on this episode, but first we have to tell you about LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the candidates you want to talk to faster. Did you know every week, nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn? Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedonmlb. That's linkedin.com/lockedonmlb to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. I'll give you a name that could be a bopper, and he's a rookie. Jonathan Aranda might be one, but Isaac Paredes Isaac Paredes.
You would hope. I still don't know if he like. I mean,
I'm not saying 40 homers, but I'm saying 20 to 23.
Yeah, so I was going to say, like, if you take Paredes' best year, right? It'd probably be like maybe like 25 home runs would be like, oh, wow, right? I mean,
pretty good.
No, it's good. I'm just saying, like, this team needs a bona fide bopper. They need, like, and I know they don't grow off of trees, but right now where we live in a world of 3 true outcomes and stuff, like, there's nobody coming up through the chute that like has the potential of 30. We got, it's just Brandon Lau and that's it. I mean, Wander, we think when he fills out and gets older is going to start, lifting them more. But right now, that guy is peppering ground balls to the second base side.
Right.
The Rays have gone athletic. The Rays have gone, you know what? We liked what the Royals did 2014 and 2015, and we kind of want to do that.
Yeah.
That seems
But
kind of
they
like
still had Hosmer and Moose, right? I mean, they still had guys who provided some in the middle.
And Hosmer Moose, wasn't that kind of like the Brandon Lau, Austin Meadows? And now you took out Austin Meadows. So who is that second guy that you need the power from? It's not coming from Yandy Diaz. It's not coming from Harold Ramirez. It's not coming from Manuel Margot.
Randy, you got to expect Randy to be a 25, 30 homer guy. That's what they got to bank on.
30 home runs from Manuel Rosarena is not happening. 30 bombs? No way.
Ever in a season.
Maybe one season. But again, a guy like Evan Longoria touched 30 twice.
Yeah, I think, again, this isn't 1998, 1999. Like, 25 home runs is really, really good.
In the dead ball era right now of 2022? Yeah.
It's tough. It's a tough situation. Now, I do want to bring this up. Ulises, we talked about it earlier this week and want to get Evan's take on this. So,
yes,
I brought this up by design a little bit. Isaac Paredes. Ulises, I'm going to give credit to you for putting up this tremendous poll. So I'll let you introduce it to Evan and take the wheel here.
Evan, if only one Rays rookie becomes an everyday player, who will it be from these 4 rookies? Vidal Brujan, Josh Lowe, Isaac Paredes, or Taylor Walls?
Well, I mean,
only one.
So one rookie. Repeat the question one more time.
If only one Rays rookie becomes an everyday player, who will that be? Brujan, Lowe, Paredes, Walls.
Which of those guys will be an everyday player?
I'll say Lowe.
I think
every day in the minors.
I think this guy, right? I think he has 2020 potential. I think he's Randy-esque. He is. He's the way that we think about Randy is the way we should think about Lowe. The only difference is Randy had that wonderful postseason run, which provides him such an amazing stage to build off on. And also we had a great 4 games in the postseason last year. But, Lowe is built to be a very versatile guy, a very 5-toolsy type. His defense is great. He's got a little pop. He's got, he's fast. There's a lot to like about his game. Now, I think Taylor Walls is becoming an everyday player right now, pretty close to it. And, as for Paredes, I like him. I'm worried about maybe, defensively, the same thing with Aranda. Like, what does he bring to the table defensively? The Rays don't seem to really like having one-track minded prospects per se of, you can do one thing, but we don't know where to stick you. That's why I was kind of debating with also Brujan, because the guy plays everywhere. So he might find a spot because you put him in the outfield, you put him in the infield. I would love to see some semblance that he can hit major league pitching, because he would be tailor-made to be an everyday player, but it's been brutal for long stretches. The bad is certainly outweighed the good at the plate.
Counter argument. Josh Lowe, with as bad as many holes in the lineup as there are now, why haven't the Rays called him up or given him another shot yet?
Because he can't play the infield. They need somebody who plays shortstop, middle infield while Wander is out. That's why.
When they started the season with Lowe, right? He played pretty much every day, correct?
Yeah. With lefties
They want him
too.
to play every day, I guess.
They want him to play every day. And until they are convinced that he's going to come up and they're going to slot him in the lineup every single day, I think they're just going to let him do his thing down there. And he's hitting like 285 down there, so, and that's after kind of like a really bad start. I think he started like 1 for 21 or whatever it was.
So he's going to get the everyday job once Kevin Kiermaier isn't on the team after this year.
Probably, yeah. I would assume so. I would also imagine that KK would potentially take a hometown discount in the offseason if the Mets staying here. I truly believe that he loves this area. So, and this is all he knows. So
yeah. Well, just take the money you're not going to give to Yarbrough and give it to KK.
We have never talked about that situation. So thank you, Evan, because now you've fed the content machine that is Locked On Rays. I love that question. Would you take KK if he takes a pay cut?
I don't see why not.
I don't see why not, baby. I'm all for that. Yeah.
Evan, on this poll, if we had included a fifth option, Jonathan Aranda, would that have been your pick?
I love Aranda, but again, there is something there. The guy, all he does is get freaking hits, but they don't bring him up. And I think it's because they don't necessarily know where to put him out there. And I don't know if he's a liability or whatever it might be. I haven't seen enough of his fielding to comment, but I'm a little bit concerned they haven't brought up Jonathan Aranda when this team can't hit a lick.
Yeah.
Hit a lick. But yet a guy hitting 320 who has done it back-to-back seasons essentially, or close to back-to-back seasons, can't find room. And, it does not make sense to me. They need, I understand you don't want a lineup full of Harold Ramirez's, he comes off a little bit like that. He'll come up, right? Ramirez is hitting like 285. I could see Aranda doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But Ramirez, as much as I like him, as much as my guy Ulises likes him, he doesn't really change the meter much on a game-to-game basis. You're not really pumped to talk about.
I was going to say with the glove. You're not really excited to put Harold Ramirez at first or in the outfield. You're like, oh, we'll deal with that.
Exactly. So, if you have Harold – and you're going to play Aranda, you're not playing both of them at the same time, then you're sort of just exchanging one for the other. Then it's like, well, let's just play Harold and leave him down there.
Yeah, Harold Ramirez actually has big league experience. Like, I think that Jonathan Aranda can carve up a career like Harold Ramirez, but what's the point of
having two of those in the same lineup?
And it's
redundancy. So I understand that. I would just say that in a time where this team can't hit, I would maybe think about trying to finagle things to bring in a person who can get on base just to try it. You can send him back down. Like, what is the worst can happen? This team barely gets 3 runs. Like, can we try it? The starting is so phenomenal. Can we try it?
Well, again, just wait till G-Man Choi gets injured or Yandy gets injured. Then that's your opportunity. And that's the thing, too. After this year, one or both those guys won't be on the team, and then you open up a spot for Jonathan Aranda. And Harold Ramirez probably isn't going to be brought back because this is the Rays. So, Jonathan Aranda, your time is not in 2022. It's in 2023, and we can see if you can hit 285 at the big league level.
Harold Ramirez is 2022's Jeff Keppinger. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But, boys, this is a Friday episode, and we have trivia, and we have Name That War. But before that, I got to tell you about our partners at BetOnline.net, which is your #1 source for all your betting stats and sports information. Find all of the latest sports developments, news, and odds, including this year's basketball championship matchup, the NHL Hockey Conference Finals, Major League Baseball, and of course, all the latest fighting news from MMA and UFC to boxing. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sports wagering information, including live betting, esports, Kevin's favorite, and more.
Yep.
Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends and action. BetOnline, where the game starts. And the game starts right now with Kevin's baseball trivia question.
That is true. And we've been talking about batting average a little bit. And my question pertains to batting average. In front of me, I have a list of 5 active players who have at least 3,000 plate appearances. 5 active players who have at least 3,000 plate appearances, and their batting average is above 300. I need 3 of those 5 names. Active players.
Miggy.
And go ahead. I'm sorry.
Pujols, Miggy.
Pujols is strike 1. Miggy is correct. He is the highest at 310 with 11,175 plate appearances.
Wow.
Remember, Pujols had a lot of bad years, or he fell off the cliff.
Yes, you're right. You're
with
right.
the Angels.
3,000 at bats. So what are we talking? That's 2. That's like 10. I mean, you're talking about like 11, 12 seasons in the bigs.
Yeah, basically 8 to 12 seasons, maybe more. You've played at least 8 seasons. I'll put it like that.
Damn, I only got 2 names.
Go for it.
Jose Altuve.
That is correct. He is number 2 on this list with a 3.068 batting average over 6,525 plate appearances.
Look at that Venezuelan bump. I love it.
One more name.
I'm going pinstripes. DJ LeMahieu.
No, he's number 7 under 300.
Is Goldschmidt on there?
Paul Goldschmidt is not on the list, and you guys have used all of your strikes.
Damn.
Miggy Cabrera, number 1. Jose Altuve, number 2. Number 3, the greatest player of our generation and maybe of all time when it's all said and done, Mike Trout.
That's dumb of us.
I don't know how you leave him off.
This on an 0 for 35 slide or whatever the hell it is.
Exactly. 0 for 35. Boom. Whatever. He's no longer the GOAT.
These last 2 are surprising. I wouldn't expect you to get them. Trey Turner, 3.024 with 3,267 plate appearances. And Robinson Cano, 3.012, 9,523 plate appearances.
Asterisk.
Mets legend.
Yeah. So
Padres.
there's a trivia question.
That's great. That's fantastic. Well, boys, let me give you some name that war, and of course, my browser just went to crap. So
you have to look it up on your phone.
I'm going to just make a little bit of time.
Let me see if I can guess the name that war.
Okay.
Eric Chavez.
Incorrect, but I'm going with a guy who's Harold Ramirez's countryman. I'm going Colombia today with Orlando Cabrera. All right, Orlando Cabrera. What is his career baseball reference WAR?
Should I go first?
You can let it rip.
His career WAR.
Wait, talk to me. Like, what do you know about Orlando? What do you got?
Orlando Cabrera. He played for the White Sox for a time, did he not?
He played for the White Sox.
Did he play for the
Expos? He did for 1 year in 2008 when the Rays played them in the ALDS. Very good.
Here's my line of thinking with Orlando Cabrera. I think he played at least 10 years in the bigs. His career batting average probably around 270 to 280, maybe at 180 home runs. Really solid career. I'm going to say his career WAR is 20.
Okay. Evan?
I wasn't that bullish. 16-2.
Boy, oh boy. Sometimes I feel like I'm screen sharing with Kevin. 21.3 for Orlando Cabrera. Look, this guy had a slash line of 272, a 317 on base, .390 slugging, so he only slugged 123 home runs, a .707 OPS from the middle infield position. Not 10 years though, Kev. 15.
Ooh.
Look at that stamina. Look at that endurance. This guy played for the Montreal Expos. He played for the Red Sox, the Angels, the White Sox for that 1 year, Oakland, Minnesota, Cincinnati, Cleveland, the Giants. This guy was a journeyman that he knew every damn clubhouse in so many cities.
The Miguel Cabrera, the Miguel Cairo Award.
Yeah.
Yes, this is a Miguel Cairo type of career. Wow.
I would not have guessed that he had over 2,000 hits in his career.
And yet, he had 2,055.
Pretty good.
Again,
A guy that I think probably gets overlooked. Doesn't get really, really, really good player.
Who wouldn't take that career?
Yeah.
That's an amazing career. I don't know how much money he made. Do you know how much money he made?
not enough.
Not enough? That's a good question.
Not enough.
51.7 mil. That's not bad money either, people.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
And who wouldn't want to take that sort of earnings?
Yes, that's right, baby.
Exactly.
On a Friday, let's go.
There we go. All right. Thank you, Evan. Always fun. And thank you, listeners.
And I also want to say, before you go into this, shout out to the Cardinal starter on Wednesday. Guy's name is Packy Naughton. Is that not like the greatest baseball?
Is he like a Boston mobster, Irish mobster
I
or
don't
something?
know.
I don't know.
Packy Naughton.
Wow. Okay. Can't wait to see that.
He had to be a pro athlete because he probably just got made fun of in school. And it's like, I gotta be something.
He went to the gym and he was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm doing this.
I gotta be special.
Yeah.
Something. Thank you for making the Locked On Rays podcast your very first listen every day. Now make your second listen the Locked On MLB podcast. That is also free and available on all platforms. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Stay safe, and we will talk to you next week.